All right, let's dive in. We're looking at 2024 Tech and IT Recap. Transformations, Trials, and Triumphs
Okay.
from Forbes.com, published just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
You sent this in, one of the key takeaways, so
Right.
let's see what this whirlwind year
Yeah.
means for you for the future of tech.
I think one of the most interesting things about this article is it really captures
Yeah.
the roller coaster ride that 2024 has been for tech and IT.
Yeah.
I mean, from AI hype to cybersecurity concerns,
Yeah.
it's clear this year has brought about some major shifts.
Oh, yeah, the AI reckoning, as they call it.
Yeah.
Definitely caught my eye.
Yeah.
Remember the beginning of the year?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was buzzing about how generative AI was going to revolutionize everything.
Absolutely. And it's interesting how those initial waves of enthusiasm are often rooted in genuine potential.
Yeah.
But as we've seen with previous tech trends, like the dot-com boom and others, reality often lags behind that hype.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally. And it wasn't just the usual suspects getting excited either.
Right.
The article mentions several industry heavyweights.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Sundar Pichai, Sam Altman, Dario Amodei.
Oh, wow.
All expressing reservations about AI's reliability, the ethical implications,
Yeah.
and even the economic viability of AI-driven businesses.
I think that's a really striking point.
Yeah.
Having these figures voice concerns really highlights the need for a more balanced approach to AI development.
Yeah.
It's not about halting progress, but ensuring responsible innovation,
For sure. And one of the areas this plays out most dramatically is in cybersecurity.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, this article really dives into how AI is both a powerful defense tool and a potential weapon
Exactly.
in the wrong hands.
Precisely. On one hand, imagine AI helping you spot a phishing email before you even open it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, think about the potential for AI-generated deepfakes and incredibly convincing social engineering scams.
Whoa, wait. AI creating fake videos and audio?
That are almost impossible to detect.
Yeah, it's getting into some pretty unsettling territory.
That's scary.
It is?
I mean, how do you even begin to defend against that?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
We're seeing the emergence of AI-powered security tools designed to analyze patterns and detect anomalies that might signal a cyber attack.
Oh, so
Think of it as an AI security guard constantly monitoring your network traffic.
so we're essentially fighting fire with fire.
In a way,
Using AI to combat the threats that AI itself might create.
to a certain extent, yeah.
Wow.
But it also underscores the need for international collaboration and ethical frameworks to ensure responsible AI development.
Yeah.
The stakes are higher than ever.
Absolutely. And speaking of high stakes, 2024 was a brutal year for cybersecurity in general.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport cyber attack,
Right.
which the article describes in detail, really highlights just how vulnerable our critical infrastructure is. That attack was a major wake-up call.
Yeah.
The cascading effects on travel logistics and the economy as a whole underscored just how interconnected our systems are.
And then there was the CrowdStrike patch update failure.
Oh, yeah.
That one's a bit ironic, don't you think?
It does.
A company that's supposed to be protecting us from these types of incidents actually contributing to the problem.
It certainly demonstrates that even the most sophisticated security providers are not immune to errors.
Right.
It's a stark reminder that in our interconnected world, a single point of failure can have cascading consequences.
So what's the takeaway for someone like me who's not a cybersecurity expert, but relies on these systems every day?
It highlights the need for robust testing, redundancy plans, and a proactive approach to security for any organization.
Okay.
It's not just about reacting to threats, but anticipating and mitigating them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the shift towards CMMC 2.0.
Yes.
The Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification. Right. Which the article suggests is gaining traction, especially with companies working with the government. It sounds like we're moving away from just checking boxes to actually thinking like the bad guys.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay.
CMMC 2.0 emphasizes a shift from a static compliance mindset to a more dynamic and adaptive approach to security.
Okay.
Organizations are being encouraged to actively assess and mitigate risks.
So instead of just saying, yep, we got antivirus software, we're good.
Right.
Companies now need to actively understand the evolving threat landscape and implement security measures tailored to their specific risks.
Precisely. It's about taking a proactive, strategic approach to cybersecurity.
Okay.
Recognizing that threats are constantly evolving.
Yeah.
And defenses need to adapt accordingly.
And this all ties back to something you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity isn't just an IT issue anymore.
Right.
It affects every single one of us.
It does.
Think about everything we rely on daily. Transportation, healthcare, banking, communication.
Yes, true.
It's all interconnected and potentially vulnerable.
You're absolutely right. Cybersecurity is no longer just about protecting data.
Yeah.
It's about ensuring the resilience of our critical infrastructure.
Yeah.
And safeguarding the very fabric of our society.
That's a good point.
And on that note, this article points out that the incoming Trump administration is likely to bring some significant changes to the tech landscape, especially when it comes to regulations.
Yeah, the article specifically mentions the tech industry racing for these changes.
Yeah.
Seems like curtailing the power of big tech monopolies and fostering competition are high on the agenda.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of uncertainty surrounding CIS.
Right.
The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, they're going through a leadership transition. And it sounds like their mission might get a bit of a makeover.
There's definitely a lot of speculation about what direction CISA will take under the new administration. Potential shifts in priorities and resources could have ripple effects. Yeah. Throughout the cybersecurity landscape.
And then there's the whole AI regulation piece.
Right.
The article suggests we might see a push to relax
Yeah.
some regulations, especially those perceived as hindering innovation.
That's a possibility, but it'll need to be balanced with concerns about national security and the ethical implications of AI.
Yeah.
It's a complex issue.
For sure.
That will likely generate a lot of debate.
Speaking of interesting figures,
yeah,
the article mentions Elon Musk, along with Vivek Ramaswamy, advocating for government efficiency initiatives.
Yes.
Potentially bringing some of that Silicon Valley disruption to the public sector.
They're both proponents of leveraging technology like automation and blockchain to streamline government operations.
Yeah.
Which raises interesting questions about the role of technology in governance.
It's a lot to digest.
It is.
And it makes you wonder how all of this will impact us in the long run. I mean, these policy decisions at the top have a way of trickling down and shaping our everyday experiences with technology.
Absolutely. It's crucial to be aware of these policy shifts.
Yeah.
Because they influence everything from the technologies we use to our online privacy and even our fundamental rights in the digital age.
So we've covered AI facing a reality check.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity vulnerabilities exposed and the political landscape shifting in potentially significant ways.
It's true.
What else does this tech and IT recap have in store for us?
Well, the article suggests that the cloud, once touted as the solution to all our IT problems, is facing its own set of challenges.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should explore that next. Hashtag TTS, the Deep Dive episode 2024-1206, part 2 of 3.
The cloud having its own moment of truth, as the article puts it, is a bit surprising.
Right.
Although we were all supposed to be moving to the cloud.
Right.
And everything would be magically easier.
Well, like many tech trends, the initial hype often outpaces reality. The cloud has certainly brought tremendous benefits.
Yeah.
But it's not a silver bullet, you know.
For sure. And one of the events the article points to as a sign of this shift is the Broadcom VMware acquisition.
Yeah.
That was a massive deal earlier this year, right?
It was indeed a significant acquisition.
Oh, wait.
Broadcom, known for its chips and enterprise software, acquiring VMware, a giant in the virtualization world, points to a larger trend of consolidation in the cloud space.
So what does that mean for folks like me who use cloud services?
Yeah.
Should I be worried about less competition leading to higher prices?
Yeah.
Or maybe less innovation?
It's certainly something to keep an eye on.
Okay.
This acquisition raises questions about the future of virtualization. Could it lead to higher prices for businesses relying on VMware's technology?
Right.
Or might it stifle innovation as resources are consolidated under a single entity?
Okay.
These are all valid concerns.
And speaking of things that make you go, the article mentions those major outages at Microsoft and AWS back in July.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Kind of makes you rethink putting all your eggs in one basket, right?
Those outages were a stark reminder that no cloud provider is infallible.
Yeah.
Over-reliance on a single provider can expose businesses to significant risks.
Right.
Especially when those providers experience downtime.
Okay, so what's the alternative?
Right.
The article mentions multi-cloud and edge computing.
Yeah.
Are those viable solutions?
They certainly offer potential benefits.
Okay.
Multi-cloud, meaning using services from multiple providers, can spread your risk and provide more flexibility.
Okay, so less chance of everything going down at once.
Exactly.
If one provider has a problem.
Right.
What about this edge computing thing?
Yeah.
That seems pretty futuristic.
Edge computing is essentially about bringing computation closer to the source of the data.
Okay.
Think of it as mini data centers located closer to users or devices.
Okay.
Reducing latency and potentially making certain applications more efficient.
Interesting. So instead of everything being centralized in massive data centers, we're moving towards a more distributed model.
Exactly. Edge computing is particularly relevant for things like the Internet of Things.
Okay.
Where you need real-time processing and low latency.
Okay, so maybe not all cloud news is doom and gloom.
Right.
But the article doesn't shy away from the tough stuff either.
Yeah.
Like the wave of tech layoffs that happened this year, it felt like every week another major tech company was announcing job cuts.
Yes. The tech sector experienced a significant downturn in employment. Driven by a confluence of factors, the post-pandemic economic correction, inflationary pressures, and the rapid integration of automation.
It was a pretty rough period.
It was.
And it really highlights how vulnerable certain tech jobs can be to economic fluctuations.
The article refers to it as the Great Tech Reset, suggesting that companies are recalibrating their workforce priorities, and that actually might be a good thing in the long run.
How so?
Well, it's forcing companies to focus on efficiency. And to prioritize roles that add tangible value. It's also highlighting the importance of transferable skills, with many tech professionals finding opportunities in other sectors like healthcare, energy, and finance.
So instead of just being a specialist in one specific tech area, it's more valuable to be a problem solver who can adapt and apply those skills across different domains.
Precisely. The tech industry, with its rapid innovation cycles, has always emphasized adaptability. But now we're seeing those skills valued more broadly across various industries.
Which brings us to another interesting point the article raises, AI's impact on data centers. Sounds like things are getting a little crowded in the digital world.
Yes. The demand for data center capacity is skyrocketing, driven in large part by the increasing adoption of AI technologies. The article cites some pretty staggering statistics from JLL and CBRE.
Yeah, they mentioned that data center storage capacity is projected to more than double by 2027. And vacancy rates are hitting record lows. So essentially, digital real estate is becoming a hot commodity.
Exactly. And the surge in demand is putting immense pressure on existing facilities, leading to rising costs and increased competition for resources like energy and cooling.
So it's not just about the software and algorithms anymore. It's about the physical infrastructure needed to support all of this digital activity.
Precisely. The article emphasizes the need for innovation in data center design and energy efficiency. We're talking about advanced cooling technologies, renewable energy solutions, and even reconsidering where we locate data centers to optimize resource availability and sustainability.
That makes sense. With the rise of AI, the environmental impact of technology is becoming a bigger consideration.
It's a crucial point as we push the boundaries of what's possible with AI. We need to be mindful of the energy consumption and resource demands, ensuring that our digital infrastructure can keep pace in a sustainable and responsible way.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From AI hype cycles to cybersecurity vulnerabilities, political shakeups, the evolving cloud landscape, the tech layoff roller coaster, and even the physical constraints of data centers.
Indeed, it's been a whirlwind tour of the key trends shaping the tech and IT world in 2024. And fortunately, the article distills all of this into 5 key lessons we can take away from this year.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right.
What are these nuggets of wisdom that we should be carrying with us into 2025?
Well, the first lesson is about navigating hype cycles. Remember all that AI frenzy we discussed earlier? It's a reminder to approach new technologies with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Don't get swept up in the hype. Wait for the real-world applications and proven results before jumping on the bandwagon.
The second lesson is about the interconnectedness of the tech sector and the financial markets. We saw how risky investments, over-leveraging, and shifting interest rates contributed to those tech layoffs.
So essentially what happens in the broader economy has a direct impact on the tech world.
Precisely. The third lesson builds on that, highlighting the cyclical nature of tech employment.
Yeah.
Those job losses were a stark reminder that tech jobs, while often lucrative, can be very sensitive to economic downturns.
So diversify your skill set and be prepared for the inevitable ups and downs of the market.
Absolutely. And that ties into lesson 4. Which emphasizes the importance of transferable skills. Those who were able to pivot and find opportunities in other sectors during the layoff demonstrated the value of adaptability.
Right. It's not just about being a tech expert. It's about being a problem solver who can apply your skills across different fields.
Precisely. And finally, lesson 5.
Okay.
Perhaps the most overarching theme of all is about diversification. Whether it's cybersecurity defenses, cloud infrastructure strategies, or your personal investment portfolio. Avoid putting all your eggs in one basket.
So spread your risk and be prepared for the unexpected.
Exactly.
Solid advice. But what does all of this mean as we look ahead to 2025?
Yeah.
What are the big questions or challenges facing the tech and IT sectors? Hashtag TTS The Deep Dive, episode 2024-1206, part 3 of 3.
Yeah, it feels like we're at a real crossroads.
It does.
With all these emerging technologies. The rapid pace of change. I mean, it's exciting, but also a little bit daunting.
I think one of the biggest questions we face is how to harness the immense potential of technology. While mitigating the risks and addressing the ethical dilemmas that inevitably arise.
It's like we're constantly trying to strike a balance between pushing the boundaries of what's possible and ensuring we're not creating these unintended consequences.
The article touches on this idea of black swan events.
Unforeseen disruptions that can have a profound impact on the world.
You mean like a global pandemic or a sudden economic collapse?
Things that catch everyone off guard.
So while we can't predict the future with certainty, we can try to prepare for these kinds of events. So what does that look like in the tech world? How do we build resilience into our systems and prepare for the unexpected?
I think it starts with fostering a culture of adaptability and continuous learning. We need to be flexible and open to new ways of doing things, recognizing that what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow.
So it's about embracing like a future-proof mindset.
Exactly.
Not just focusing on specific technologies, but developing transferable skills and a willingness to adapt.
Precisely. And it's not just about individuals. It's about organizations and systems being designed with resilience in mind. Redundancy, failover mechanisms, and the ability to adapt to changing conditions are all crucial.
Makes you think about all the critical infrastructure we rely on. From power grids and transportation systems to financial networks and healthcare data.
Absolutely. The interconnected nature of our world means that disruptions in one area can have cascading effects throughout the entire system.
So it's not just about being prepared for a specific event. It's about building systems that can withstand a wide range of potential disruptions.
Exactly. It's about anticipating potential vulnerabilities and creating safeguards to minimize the impact of unforeseen events.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
I feel like I have a much better understanding of the key trends shaping the tech and IT landscape and what they might mean for the future.
It's been a fascinating conversation, and I think the key takeaway here is that the future of tech is not predetermined. It's something we're actively shaping through our choices, investments, and the policies we put in place.
Absolutely well said. And on that note, I want to thank you, dear listener, for joining us on this deep dive.
Thank you.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and a fresh perspective on the possibilities and challenges ahead.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged in shaping the future of technology.
This has been The Deep Dive. Taking you beyond the headlines and into the heart of what matters.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep
learning and keep asking those big questions.